What's up? Welcome back into another episode here on the FanTC YouTube page. We are on day 14 of our 45 days of mock drafts, and I got two pretty cool guests joining me here today from our Washed Up Tigers Fantasy Football League and our Champions League Fantasy Football League, Jake Warner, and Tyler Shirk. How you boys doing tonight?
Good, Kody. Pleasure to be on.
Doing great, man. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Awesome. Well, cool. We're going to go ahead and do our mock draft. This is somewhat of a mock draft resembling our Washed Up Tigers League. It is a one-person keeper league, and it's just the draft value that you had to spend on them last year. So we do not have that factored in, but it is 3 wide receivers, full-point PPR, and 2 flexes. So pretty deep for a 10-team league. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Jake, you'll be the first one here with the third pick. And we have McCaffrey and Chase off the board for you. So,
oh, perfect. Just how I hoped this would go, because I am going to be taking Justin Jefferson without a doubt.
yeah,
I would have probably almost wanted to take him at 1-1 if I had the 1-1, but it'd be tough between him and McCaffrey. But I do have him over Jamar Chase just slightly in my own kind of rankings. So I'm going to go Jefferson.
Yeah, with this being a wide receiver heavy league, I think I'm going to keep the trend going for wide receiver and take Cooper Kupp.
Yep, I'm following right in trend with you boys. I'm going to go ahead and take Tyreek Hill, who I think's the last elite wide receiver before there's just like a slight fall off in tiers. So,
totally agree.
Let's see. The next was that 10 picks in between. So this is the first time I've actually not seen Nick Chubb fall all the way back around to me, so that kind of sucks. He's usually my go-to second-round pick. But since it is 3 wide receivers, I will go with the upside of Amon-Ra St. Brown to pair with Tyreek Hill.
Nice. Detroit. Big year coming up for the Lions.
Gotta love the Lions, yeah. Hopefully a big year.
Yes,
what
sir.
You thinking here, Tyler? You going?
You guys think Devontae Adams still gets it done with?
It will be Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy G.
The good news is it will be Jimmy. Like he's healthy enough to where he's going to start practicing. So you don't have to worry about it being a rookie quarterback. But I'd imagine
he supported some pretty elite receivers in the past. But I will say I've never started a draft out this way, so it's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I don't really like Devontae Adams a ton this year as opposed to like the past years. Just with Jimmy G, I'm not really super confident. But Tyler, I mean, he's always a beast. I'm going to also look wide receiver here just because it is 3 wide receivers, and I have a couple that really come to mind. I'm between, honestly, Waddle and Olave. I love Olave so much. I had him in the Champions League last year, and he was just such a beast. So I'm actually going to roll the dice a little bit here, and I'm going to go Olave over Waddle, which is kind of an interesting choice, but hey, here we are.
Yeah, I don't mind that, and you actually had Waddle fall all the way back around to you in the third, so...
Right, there you go.
If you wanted Waddle, you still got him. That's pretty fucking
nice. That's relatively nice, but before we jump to conclusions, I do just want to see what the running backs look like. And I'm not totally in love with them. I mean, it's definitely a good group of guys, but I'm actually going to finish this off by going Waddle as well. So I have just an absolute Medusa of receivers here.
Yeah, you're going into every week with a wide receiver advantage, at least to start the season. Because even Tyler and I, who have 2 elite wide receivers, there's not another one you'd feel as comfortable adding as Jalen Waddle. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely not. No, we start to get into the wide receivers with a split field. So, T. Higgins, Devonta Smith.
Exactly.
DK, where they're not the guy. They're one of the guys there. So I've got to go running back here. I don't know. I can't leave this with 3 wide receivers. Just a comfort thing for me. So I'm going with Ramondre.
Yeah.
He has going on there in New England.
Yeah, no, that's a great pick. I think he's a guy who could break into the top 5, maybe top 3 this year. As long as they don't sign Dalvin Cook. That's like the only worry about drafting Ramondre right now.
Unfortunately, I believe he will be a keeper in our league this year.
Yeah, Matt Jones.
Oh, is he Matt Jones keeper? I was gonna look up who had Ramondre because I was contemplating trying to trade for
Yeah.
him. That's gonna be a pretty nice keeper
Yeah, he's keeping him for a pretty late round as well.
until he tears his ACL.
I think a 6th or 7th.
Nothing to Ramondre, but that'd be funny if that happened to Jones. Not Ramondre, but Jones.
Right, just one of Jones' players. All right. So for me here, the only like elite level running back is Breece Hall, and I just don't really feel too comfortable drafting him in the 3rd. He seems like everything's going to be fine with his injury, but I don't necessarily love him, and I think there's other running backs I like just as much as him that'll fall. Not just as much as him, because he can be insane as long as he's healthy. I just think it's going to take a while for him to be fully healthy. Wide receiver wise, kind of like what Tyler was saying, kind of a lot of just either wide receiver 2s or wide receiving cores. You're not really sure who the clear number 1 is. So I'm going to take who I think is a clear number 1 option on their team, and that's Mark Andrews, who I think is right at his value here in the middle of the 3rd. So see how early tight end goes for me.
Kody, you kind of sniped who I might have been trying to look at if he would have fallen. I don't think he would have fallen that far, but that's a great pick.
Yeah. I think if you can get him, towards the middle of the 3rd, that's pretty good. If he falls any further than that, then absolutely pick him up.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker's still out there, but I just feel like it wouldn't be justice if I took Kenneth Walker away from Jake. So I'm going to pass on. I'm going to pass on him. I'm actually going to go Joe Mixon for my RB1. He's just the clear number 1 guy in Cincinnati. He has a chance to get 300-plus opportunities. It doesn't seem like his situation's really going to turn into anything, at least this year. He restructured his contract. He'll be back in Cincy. He should be really good. So to get him in the 4th, I think is pretty sweet.
Absolutely. And you know what, Kody? Kenneth Walker, well, first of all, I hate the Seahawks so much. I hate their front office. I hate Pete Carroll. I hate everybody in that building for drafting Charbonnet because that just kind of took the trade that I made and definitely made it worse. I mean, not that it's terrible. I'll take Kenneth Walker for an 8th round pick as like my RB2 in our Mizzou league. That's kind of my plan. But I still don't love Kenneth Walker here at this pick. So thanks for nothing, because I'm actually not going to be drafting him. But
I don't blame you. I think there's still a chance for him to have some value even this early in the draft if Charbonnet doesn't turn into too much his rookie year. Because we saw Kenneth Walker to start last year. He wasn't anything special until Rashad Penny went down, and then another Seahawks running back went down. So it may take a little bit for Charbonnet to get on the field, but I share the same concerns. I don't want to go into either down the stretch or into the playoffs with the Seattle running back that might be close to a 50-50 split by the time that comes around.
Yep, totally agree. So it looks like – so Shirk, did you just go Keenan Allen?
Yeah, going with Keenan Allen. Don't know if I love the pick, but that's why it's a mock draft, right? Sitting here in the 4th, just trying to get a feel for this draft position. Between him and Debo, I know in San Francisco they have a lot of weapons now, but Keenan Allen does have the more consistent quarterback.
I love Keenan Allen. I think
good.
I think the Mike Williams breakout hype is officially over after his pretty not rough, but just inconsistent season last year. So I think Keenan's just the guy on the Chargers you want, unless you want to just go with their rookie super late in drafts. But Mike Williams, I just every time it comes down to drafting him, I'm just how are you ever going to know when to fucking play him? He's either going to put up 25 or 2. So
Keenan Allen's always been a very consistent player. Mike Williams is boom or bust, which is not something I love to have on my roster. I like to have a more consistent team, something I can rely on.
Yeah, if Keenan Allen stays healthy, he's a guy who could average, close 8 to 10 targets a game, which puts him right in that elite tier of wide receivers. So I think he's a really good pick in the 4th, and especially a 3 wide receiver, if Keenan Allen can really show up, you may have as good or close to as good of a wide receiving core as Jake does. So I like the pick quite a bit.
Yep. Good pick. Love Keenan, except for the one time that he said that he was playing when
fuck Keenan Allen.
I had no idea. That sucked. That sucked
I
a
did
lot.
too.
So,
100%. That was rough.
fuck him for that. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, man. So and Shirk, my bad. I thought that I was picking last. That's why I was talking over you. So I apologize about that. So good pick there. This is tough for me right now because like the way that I look at this, it's gonna snake back to me pretty quickly. But I think I'm actually gonna make a move here and pick. Gotta have a Packers player on my team. I'm just gonna go. I'm tilting like ever so slightly, but I'm actually going to go Aaron Jones here. I just think that with Jordan Love and like what he's going to be doing, I think Aaron Jones got a lot of pass catching potential, which is obviously huge for running backs. Yep. And Lamar Jackson went, and that's what I was wondering what was going to happen. I was either going to go Lamar Jackson or a running back there.
Yep.
So interesting. It's tough. Should have gone Lamar Jackson. Dang
that
it.
Is tough. I think I would have taken the same shot you did because it's usually right around this time where Lamar goes. So I think you made the right move. Just the computer kind of screwed you there.
Yeah, definitely.
It meant to be like Johnny Becca for you to get Lamar back.
They would have no clue. Lamar Jackson's gonna be garbage again. He has no new weapons or anything. No, he'll. I think he's gonna be pretty freaking good this year. So I'm actually gonna go quarterback, and I'm just gonna pivot exactly away from the Packers, and I'm gonna go Justin Fields here. I want to see if he can repeat the crazy running and everything. So that's just gonna make it all worth it.
Big Chicago guy now.
No, I don't like the Bears.
Chicago.
Don't get next up. No. Ooh, Dobbins.
Gotta go J.K. Dobbins.
Nice pick.
Out of that injury. See if he's finally fully healthy. Yeah, we'll see.
All right, I don't really want to do this because I don't want to give you guys my Damian Pierce of this year, but he's not going as late. But if I can get Miles Sanders in every single draft I can this year, I'm taking him. I think he's just the absolute workhorse in Carolina, and similar to Joe Mixon, may have a chance to get like 300 opportunities. So if he's just semi-efficient with those, he's going to be extremely good for fantasy football.
Yep, it's a good pick.
And then I hate the wide receivers that fall back to me, of course. So I'm just going to go Jerry Jeudy and just shoot for the upside. I don't mind DJ Moore if you want to shoot for upside. Also, if I'm drafting Fields in fantasy football, it's for his legs. I just don't really know if I trust him that much as a passer. So I'm kind of not really super excited about DJ Moore, especially because he's still kind of going in the same area he always does. So.
Yep.
New quarterback, but same.
Yeah, exactly.
Same offensive situation.
Justin Fields may be his best quarterback that he's ever been with, but like passing wise, not really. Like maybe, but we don't really know yet.
Jerry's still out for sure on that one.
Yeah.
I know this won't happen in our actual draft because I know a guy on this pod's probably going to keep this player around, but if I can get him here, why not?
Yep.
No.
I don't mind that.
T-Law.
I think he's the last guy that you draft at the quarterback position and you feel like confident you don't have to stream throughout the season. Like even if T-Law has 2 bad performances, I think you're still probably putting him out there in a decent matchup as opposed to like streaming Jared Goff or something like that. So I don't mind burning an early pick on him while you have the chance to. And
Definitely.
An early pick, it's in the 6, so definitely justifiable there.
Do you like the quarterbacks in later rounds this year, or are you on the end to get them early?
Well, this one I decided not to draft a quarterback since I went ahead and did Mark Andrews early, and I don't really like to go with like tight end and quarterback early. I feel like that kind of handcuffs you a little bit. So this draft, I'll draft a quarterback later, but I love the Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert range right now. And then if I miss out on those 2 guys, then Lawrence is my next up.
Yeah.
Great strategy.
With Keenan Allen, I was there's of course always the thought if Herbert could get back to me, but I think in this league there is a chance it happens, just because everybody in this league is very low on the quarterback position.
Yeah, but it is changing.
But
I mean, Justin Herbert in a 6-point passing touchdown league 2 years ago would have just won you the league. So it would have been nuts.
Beast.
So
Yep. Alrighty. So I'm going to pick here. So now we're kind of looking at like, RB2. Is there a tight end out there who's going to be like my flex guys? So I'm going to go back to the wide receiver pool because running back right now, I got a couple targets, but I'm not like super excited. So I'm actually going to maybe reach just a little bit here and go Brandon Ayuk. I'm really kind of up on him this year. That has screwed me over in the past, though, when he was like looking real good in camp, and then I drafted him, and then he sucked. So we'll see if that happens again. Hopefully not. And then easiest pick I've had in a while here. Well, I guess not easiest pick I've had in a while, but I'm actually going to roll the dice a little bit and go Kamara. I know that he like might be out for a little bit, but we don't know yet as of this draft. So I'm just going to pretend like he's really not missing that many games right now.
yeah, the only thing going against Kamara right now is that it was on video, so the NFL's not going to like that very much. But I don't think he's getting the full suspension. Let's just say it's half. It's only 3 games. Like for him to come back, let's say you start 1-2 or 2-1, and you get Kamara back as your RB2. Like it's pretty fucking deadly. So
Yeah.
That's a good pick. Tyler, you sniped Cam Akers away from me. I think he would have been. You want to talk about that a little bit?
yeah, I love Cam Akers right here. Had him last year and really liked his production there the back half of the season. They came out and said he's the guy, and he played like the guy in that offense. They came out again and said it this year that they are going to lean heavily on Cam Akers. So I think he's a steal in the 7th.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is kind of the reason I'm afraid to draft Javonte and Breece Hall right now, because we saw him last year coming off of an injury, come back, wasn't very good for basically the first 3/4 of the season. His ACL probably fully healed by the end of the back half, or by the back half of that season, and then he was amazing. So I feel like we could see like a similar arc with Breece Hall where 6 to 8 weeks he just struggles because he's not fully healthy with his knee, and then once it gets there, he just dominates. So I like Cam Akers quite a bit. Kind of surprised neither of you guys took the shot on Kyle Pitts. You guys just completely out on him?
I don't know, man.
Abysmal,
I'm not
It's
excited.
so bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's acceptable to take the shot on him when he's going in the 7th, but the past couple of years when he's been like a 2nd or 3rd round draft pick has been just wild. So at least his ADP is not nuts anymore. That helps out.
No. Sorry, Lucas.
But yeah. For my pick here, I'm going to go Hollywood Brown. I just think that there is a chance, whether Kyler comes back or not, he's just a clear target, main target guy in this offense. So in a full PPR league, he's gonna maintain a good amount of value. And then I'm glad I did, because we saw 6 wide receivers go off the board in those 10 picks, just Javonte, Dalvin Cook, and then Kyle Pitts and Darren Waller. So you guys don't have to worry about being tempted by Kyle Pitts in the
Yeah, neither do you. He sniped you, man.
Yeah, there's nothing better than pairing up Kyle Pitts and Mark Andrews. It's a deadly lineup. And then for me, let's see, I have Mixon, Sanders, so I'm just going to go with another guy who I think has a lot of opportunity, and that's Rachaad White. I just feel like he could be the lead guy in the Buccaneers' backfield on a pretty bad offense, though. So I don't really like drafting running backs on bad offenses, but at least he should be the only one back there. And he can't be as inefficient as he was last year. Otherwise, he probably won't be in the league.
Absolutely. Oh, man. So we got some interesting. Oh, Pacheco.
Homer.
I go with my Chiefs guy. I think he comes back healthy, baby. He runs that backfield.
Yeah, him and McKinnon.
I'm not worried about the McKinnon pickup. Not worried about Clyde, on the offense.
So you could probably get Clyde with the last pick. I want to just pair him up.
Yeah, you can get him. Yeah, he's going very late. Very, very late.
Very true. Oh, man. All right, so I'm looking around here. Running backs looking not too great. But you know what? Let's take a flyer on James Cook. Why not?
Don't blame
Who
you.
knows?
Naeem Hines just had
Yep,
a jet ski accident. He's out for the whole year due to a knee injury. So I don't know if
exactly.
Naeem Hines was going to be that involved, but those are definitely more opportunities going to Cook. So that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, Cook's a beast. See, and then that's interesting because then I was, looking at maybe like Jordan Addison, maybe Smith and Jigba at that spot. So now I see kind of like, just based off of ADP.
Yeah, I was actually hoping one of those two fell to me also. So team
Yeah,
one, team two can suck a dick.
yeah, they're actually being kind of annoying right now for being bots. Like, I'm annoyed at those bots right now. But you know what? The bots are stupid and didn't pick Jahan Dotson, which I did.
Yeah,
So
good pick.
thanks. So that's I think he could break out. We'll see. We're just kind of taking some flyers right now.
Yep. So Flyers, especially year two wide receivers, I love quite a bit because that's
Yeah.
typically when they break out into that elite phase. It's the same thing with like Chris Olave, who you took earlier.
Yeah.
Don't think so much with Treylon Burks anymore. He got royally screwed by the Titans.
Yeah, that sucks.
With the
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of underdog best ball stuff throughout the summer, and I drafted a lot of Treylon Burks. Like just about
Oof.
every single league he was available around his ADP, I took him. So that was a real shot in the heart by the Tennessee Titans.
he
Okay.
was going to be he was high on to be my keeper until it happened, but
Yeah, don't blame you. I would have probably kept him too. Year two breakout potential. So from
you don't think
here-
he'll still be able to because DeAndre will take the double teams, which opens Treylon Burks up in that offense. But I guess he's going to be the number 3 if you consider DeAndre Hopkins and then.
Yeah, if you look at the numbers of Ryan Tannehill, even to his second options, it's just not very exciting for fantasy. So you're just betting against a lot of like. You're basically just ignoring all the facts, and you're just like, I really like this player, so I'm just going to bet on him. If you're drafting him, which isn't bad because I mean he is really good and showed a lot last year. It's just if he had any better quarterback, I think he can make it happen. Like even a Tua level, which we saw last year with Tyreek and Waddle, he can make it happen. But Tannehill's wide receiver twos do terrible for fantasy football. So that is why I'm very upset about D-Hop getting signed there because it basically just eliminates one of my picks in all those underdog leagues that I've done. So, but
It sucks.
let's see. I'm actually going to go full on homer here as well and just bet on the upside of Kadarius Toney. Old tweaked knee Kadarius Toney.
He just got hurt today.
With my ninth round pick.
Re-aggravated it today.
Of course he did. It's not a re-aggravation. It's just always aggravated. It's just how much.
It's just always.
Okay, another good runner wide receivers in between us. Damn. Let's see. Any good running backs left? B-Rob, Jamal.
Samaje Perine. How dare they? Come on.
Rashad, Sanders, Mixon. So I feel like I have pretty good starters with my 3 running backs right now, so I could take a little bit more of a shot with this pick as opposed to needing someone immediately. So I'm going to go Khalil Herbert and see if he can work his way into being the number 1 guy on the Bears depth chart this offseason.
Not a bad. Good pick.
Yeah, we'll see what Foreman and the rookie Roshan Johnson do there. But Khalil Herbert's been there for a while, been with the coaching staff for the year, so maybe they like him. Maybe he'll get some reps, the first couple weeks and show something.
Man, I get kind of lost over here. Second. Looking at my board, though, I've had a few risky picks there with Burks. I know you guys aren't as high on Pacheco as I am, so can't be too safe by taking another running back here. I'm hoping another player makes it back around to me.
Think that he'll avoid the gunshot this year?
I don't know, man. I always get a few.
That was so bad.
You think he'll dodge it this time?
Jeez, yeah. Not his fault. He was getting carjacked. It's unfortunate. Yeah, this is interesting. Kind of where we sit right now. I mean, these later rounds, like you're kind of just starting to throw some darts a little bit. I mean, I guess we're in the 10th. It's not like, it's not like the last round, but Cortland Sutton, man, that name just. Kody, I know you don't like Cortland Sutton that much. I'm assuming you had him, didn't you?
I had him in a couple leagues last year, yeah, and he kind of screwed me. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine the Denver offense is going to be better than it was last year, and I think I took Jerry Jeudy, and I have almost no confidence that he's going to be the number one wide receiver. So it could be Sutton, it could be Tim Patrick, it could be Jeudy. You never know. So honestly, like, the only reason I went Jeudy with my pick is I felt like there was a chance Cam Akers got back to me, and I needed to take another wide receiver. But I'm not very high on drafting. Like, if you can get Cortland Sutton 4.5, 5 rounds later, I like the value there a lot more.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's 10th.
Feels a lot like the Tyler Lockett DK situation.
Right.
That's been going on for a few years now.
Is Bateman's on the pup? What happened with that? Any insight into?
I think I saw something that he was going to be okay, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
You know what, Kody? You might have just talked me into going Cortland Sutton, and actually you did, just based off of some of that logic. Yeah. I mean, it's the 10th round. And then Ingram went. Dang it.
Yeah, that's the shot I took. I was hoping Ingram would make it back around to me here.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't stack him with Trevor Lawrence when you had the chance, Tyler. I would have done that all day.
I thought he was going to make it back around. I did.
I got fucked too, though. I wanted to stack Tua with Tyreek Hill, and Tua apparently Team 1 needs 2 quarterbacks before the fucking 10th round, so they got Tua from me. Lamar Jackson's not enough. They need Tua as a backup, so.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's like some Becca drafting right there. That's ridiculous.
Kody put it in the settings. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go do another like running back kind of dart throw. A-Chain. That's how you spell A-Chain. I haven't even seen his name yet. Like on. Nope. I know Jason Moore is super high on him with the Ballers. I didn't even know how his name was spelled. You know what? I'm just gonna go dart throw A-Chain because Jason Moore likes him. That's it. That's the only reason.
Don't hate that pick at all, especially this late, because you could probably tell after week 1 or week 2 whether or not he's a keepable player. Like, if he goes out there week 1 and it's just Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert, you're like, okay, I don't need to keep him around. But if he goes out there week 1 and pops, you're like, fuck, I just got a running back in the 11th round. Let's go. And his speed's supposedly nuts. Like,
it's 4.3.
Fastest running back in the NFL based on what the Dolphins are putting out. So
love that.
Yeah, I love that for Tua also, because that gives him another target around the line of scrimmage. He can dump screen passes off to that can go 80 yards to the house. So that's also why I like Tua a little bit this year. If you can get him in the 10th round, it's just extremely risky with his head issue.
Yeah, one bad game or one bad hit. And you're in a bad spot.
Good pick, Tyler. That's who I wanted also.
Elijah.
Yep.
I think he's far better than Donovan Peoples-Jones, so and they're going to need some wide receivers.
It's been nothing but positive hype coming out of that camp so far on Elijah Mitchell. Like, even like the rookie mini camp or whatever, I think he partook in that since he was like a newly traded player, and they were using him all over the field, which, I mean, I guess you only have rookies out there, so why not? But seems to be catching a lot of attention. I'm going to go with the pervert himself, Deshaun Watson. Snag him up and shave and move on with that pick.
That's an interesting. You know what, Kody? I mean, we don't have to talk about the pervert part, but that is actually, like, if he's good, yeah, it's an absolute, like, that's just the best pick of the draft right there. Because if he's like anywhere close to what he used to be, that's just an unreal steal in the 11th round.
Yeah,
so
obviously just joking about his off the field stuff, but like, when it comes to fantasy football, and you kind of got to put that stuff aside, because especially if you're trying to win money or pride or a trophy or something like that. Like you got to put that stuff to the side and be like, I could potentially get a top 5 quarterback with my 11th round pick. Like you just got to take the shot on them. So
it's there.
don't mind that at all. I hate when we get to this level of wide receivers though, because I don't want to take any of them.
You don't want OBJ?
I want nothing to do with OBJ. His knee issues he's probably going to have. Him and Kadarius Toney on the same team. Might as well just like knee problems. That should be my team name.
Knee problems. Wait, you don't want him feeling?
Yeah, there we go. There's another guy. Probably won't get hurt, but he'll probably be. He actually could sneakily be like same thing as Marquise Brown, except for not as talented. He may just be such a necessity in Carolina that in PPR he gets 6 to 8 points just off the catches alone, and then if he falls into the end zone, he's going to be fantasy relevant. So, I mean, it's not the worst pick in the world, especially in three wide receiver. But I'm pretty happy with my wide receivers, so I'm just going to snag probably my last running back here, and I don't really know why. This is another guy that the ballers are all over right now, and that's Kendre Miller. Obviously, with the Kamara suspension, there's a chance he could break out while he's suspended or whatnot. So I'm going to take Kendre Miller. He's definitely a guy that if Kamara doesn't get suspended or they just use Jamal Williams a lot after week 1, I can drop pretty confidently and not really feel too bad about. Or, again, if he breaks out, then it's a running back in the 12th. So I will take my shot there.
Komet. Let's go.
Need a tight end. Ballers were high on this guy last year. He didn't perform, but
yeah, they were.
Let's see what happens this year.
Yeah, I was high on him too. I got screwed by Komet.
Any Bears player, I feel like you just insert Bears player to that sentence, and it kind of works out. It's like
Allen Robinson times like 3 now.
like, dude, oh man. So I'm gonna go tight end here before like these just last tier guys kind of get sucked up. Oh, I'm so tempted with Kincaid, but it's a rookie tight end, so I gotta go Chigo Conquo, man. Chigo Zim, the man. And
I'm right there with you. I think I'd go Chig as well, just because of the rookie tight end curve. But I also don't mind taking the shot on Kincaid when it's like your last pick, or like for team 2, their second to last pick. Like at that point, you don't really care if he's not used; you just drop him. But before, right after draft season, he was getting drafted up where like Ingram and David Njoku and Pratt Freiermuth are, and that's kind of wild. That's a little because it's only 2 rounds, but it just seems early. It seems like those guys are a lot safer of players.
Yeah, and it's literally just the Buffalo Bills, like Josh Allen connection thing. Otherwise, like, it's the offense. So it's like, let's give this, let's chill and like just give it a second to see how it is before like we make any, big things. But all right, so wide receiver here, I got a name. I'm going to go a little bit of Chiefs homerism too and just take a flyer on Sky Moore.
Yeah, I knew one of you two were going to. Just fucking taking them instead of
you should have, man. Yeah, Sky Moore, man. Who knows? You just never know. It's like the apple in the garden of football. Don't bite it, but I'm gonna bite it. I'm gonna see what happens.
Yep. Well, I will. I think I was talking to Tyler actually on the phone about this. I think the Chiefs' offense is getting to that Patriots Brady level where rookie wide receivers can't really just come in and make an immediate impact. Like even Kadarius Toney, when he got here, he wasn't really in the flow of the offense when he was making plays. It was kind of just random plays designed specifically for his skill set. So I think Sky Moore in his second year, I think there's huge breakout potential for him. I took Kadarius Toney in this draft. I think Sky Moore is the Chiefs wide receiver I want to draft. I think it's his.
Well, they have him on that rookie contract, so they know he'll be around for a little while.
Yeah.
How early would you take Sky Moore, Kody? Like, are you that high on him, or is this just like a back end of the draft, like 10th round or later type of thing?
Back into the draft for sure. Like, I wouldn't go up where I took Kadarius Toney and take Sky Moore there. Like, I would rather take my shot on Gabe Davis or Brandon Cooks or something like that. Just someone I have a little bit more confidence in at that point. But like I've said about a few of these players, when you get down here, it's really just I want to be able to see something in week 1 or week 2, or know I can confidently cut them and it's not going to come back to bite me in the ass. So I think Sky Moore is definitely that guy. If he's out on the field, if he's getting some targets, you're ecstatic that you may have found the Chiefs wide receiver one. And if he's only on the field 50% of the time, only a couple targets, you know you can cut him. So
Yep.
I
Hey,
like that quite a bit.
real quick, you said something that really caught my attention. You said being angry, or pissed that you cut somebody too early. I think there was a guy last year that you drafted, a certain wide receiver
Yeah,
who you
I'm
might have
glad.
cut after week two. What was his? Was his name Garrett Wilson by chance? Did
I think
did
it
you do
might have
that last
been
year?
Garrett Wilson. Yep.
Yeah, he turned out to be a
Correct.
very average player, Kody. He's just
Yeah,
okay.
whatever. My team still scored the third highest points in the league. So even with Garrett Wilson, it wouldn't matter. Luck was not on my side last year, so fuck it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. This is the year, baby. This is the year.
That hurts so bad though, just because, especially because Jack has it, and I know I'm gonna hear about it at some point while we're fucking camping
Oh,
that weekend, and I just
yep, yep.
You've supplied Jack with some very good
that's
wide
before I was
receivers
in the
for
league.
years.
I was basically helping him, like I was a co-manager for his team. That doesn't count,
Yeah,
but he did get
yeah.
Jefferson
Justin
for 2 years for
Jefferson,
no draft
Garrett
cost.
Wilson.
Justin Jefferson, Garrett Wilson, every receiver, dude. You got to stop with Jack. Come on.
Yeah, no shit.
Jack Stack's in like the best keeper wide receiver you could get
Ugh,
past 3 years now. It's got to end. It's got to end.
Jesus.
On this pick, I'm just going to take the shot on OBJ just because I think if he does have anything left in him, it's going to be more than what Thielen has in him. So I'm just going to bet on the upside there. I hate drafting him, though, because I think he's just going to get hurt very soon in the season. It's just going to be a wasted draft pick when you're looking back at the draft board in a year.
Love doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always a fun
Garrett
exercise.
Wilson, why fucking draft him if you're just going to drop him anyway? You can keep Cam Akers on your roster for fucking 10 weeks.
Oh, that's just so brutal. Brutal.
Last pick, I'm gonna take the shot on Romeo Dobbs. He's gotten the hype out of camp, so he's a pretty
Yeah.
easy last round pick for me.
Yeah, man. We'll see. Jordan Love.
Just taking this one because I have the other guy. See how it shakes out early.
Hey,
But,
didn't you draft him in the first round a couple of years ago?
that
What a
may have
pick!
happened.
What a pick!
Yeah, that didn't. It didn't work out too well actually. That
No.
would be a really bad decision.
Yep.
I know I did help Jack get some pretty stellar wide receivers, but I did talk Jake into taking Jonathan Taylor the same year you took Kareem Hunt. And I think
It's true.
Jake got him in like the 4th or 5th round, and you took Kareem
Fifth
with the 4th
round.
or 5th pick overall. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty rough swing on that one.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say about that too is that I loved how certain individuals in the Mizzou League held on to just the freezing cold take of like that he's garbage for so long. And then it was like, I think he scored 5 touchdowns against Buffalo or something. And I would text Jones because I was playing against Jones when I had him in that game. And I texted him every single tweet of Taylor scoring. And it was I was like, is he still shit? Is he garbage, bro? Is he garbage? Is he going to be good? Like, so funny. But I'll round out the draft here. I mean, this is just ultimate flyer season. Love that name, Jonathan Mingo. That's a funny name. But I'm just going to do Rondale Moore. Why not? Like, I don't know. I mean, he's really fast still.
Yep. I mean,
See.
someone on Arizona is going to have to catch some footballs, even outside of Marquise Brown. So I do not mind that. But to wrap this one up real quick, Jake from the 3 spot has Justin Fields at the quarterback position, Aaron Jones, Kamara, James Cook, and Devon Achane at the running back, Justin Jefferson, Chris Olave, and Waddle as an insane 3 wide receivers, Brandon Ayuk, Jahan Dotson, Cortland Sutton, Sky Moore, and Rondale Moore. I'm sure there's some kind of Moore themed name you can come up with there. And then you got Chigakonko in the tight end spot. How do you feel about that draft? Is that your first mock draft of this drafting season?
Yeah, dude. First mock draft of the season. I feel freaking awesome about that team, honestly, simply from just like the wide receiver perspective. But I think that's the type of team when they talk about, like on the Ballers, when they talk about upside and they talk about kind of like drafting a team that can really reach a ceiling, like that is an upside team with some like studs on it. So I do really like that team. I think there's definitely some chances that I'm taking with some guys. Like I probably could have been a little bit more conservative and maybe gone like Herbert at quarterback instead of Fields or something.
Yep.
But I like the team a lot, so that's definitely a format that I might want to take into our draft. We'll see.
Nice. Tyler, you have Trevor Lawrence as your quarterback, Ramondre Stevenson, J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers, Isaiah Pacheco, Brian Robinson, Elijah Mitchell, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire in your running back core. Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, Treylon Burks, and Elijah Moore as your wide receivers, and Cole Kmet as your tight end. How are you feeling about your team?
I feel okay about it. Not amazing. I took a lot of running backs just because I like Ramondre and JK. I feel like JK still carries a little bit of risk, so that's what drove me to pick up additional guys down there. So Brian Robinson, RB1 for the Washington Commanders. Is he going to be good this year? We don't know. I'm fine with that pick. I am bummed though that I missed the Ingram stack, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
I think I could have got Robinson back on the turn. So
yeah, you could have gotten Ingram instead of Treylon Burks, instead of Brian Robinson, and then you could have drafted Sky Moore instead of Cole Kmet later in the draft, also for reference. So I think that's probably the only weakness is Cole Kmet, and then we'll also, luckily you have 3 stud wide receivers, but your team kind of looks like my draft from last year. I feel like where you just went really running back heavy and kind of shotgun approach the running backs, which can be good, but it's just some of these guys, like even a Pacheco, if he's splitting reps, like you're not ever going to feel comfortable dropping them. So like that's kind of where I got into. Like that's where god damn, I can't talk. That's the position I got into last year with like Cam Akers and a couple other running backs. Is I never dropped them to go pick up wide receivers when I could and stuff like that, and that's what ultimately cost me. So that's the only risk.
Being a 3 wide receiver league, I know it's super important to have some depth there.
Yeah.
Because Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, they'll get it done. Treylon Burks, Elijah Moore, it's pretty iffy.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I wanted to try the 4 spot out today. I've liked it in some mock drafts. I've really disliked it in other ones. So wanted to see how I do it for myself. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is a spot for me. Moving forward.
Fair enough. All right. And then on my team, I have Deshaun Watson, the pervert, as my quarterback. Running backs, Joe Mixon, Miles Sanders, Rashad White, Khalil Herbert, and Kendre Miller. Wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jerry Jeudy, Marquise Brown, Kadarius Toney, OBJ, and Romeo Doubs. And then tight end Mark Andrews holding it down. I'd be pretty happy with this team. I think that, Deshaun Watson's a pretty big question mark at quarterback, but he does have a pretty high upside, so I don't mind, taking him. Obviously, you could always look back at like some of the later round picks you had and like who you could have gotten. So like instead of OBJ, instead of Kendre Miller, I should have drafted Sky Moore if I wanted him or something like that. But overall, happy with that team. You guys got any closing comments? Any final comments about any of the rosters? Any of the AI rosters stick out or anything for you guys?
Who got Dameon Pierce?
Yeah.
Team 10 got him in the 5th round at the 5-6 turn.
Oh, that's a little bit of a reach. Come on, bot, do better. Actually, I don't know what his ADP is even, so I'm not. It's probably wrong. But one team I really like a lot is Team 2 from the second draft spot. Jamar Chase. Like I like Derrick Henry still a lot. Jacobs if he doesn't hold out. Kenneth Walker. They got a really nice running back core, and then maybe hoping that Ridley breaks out and plays well. He's got some solid receivers, and then the Ingram, Dak Prescott. I don't know about the 2 quarterbacks. I just saw that. That's kind of whack. But okay, Becca. But yeah, so basically, I don't know, man. I think we all drafted well from where we were at. I love the draft position that I have, and I love the team that I have. So
awesome, Tyler. Any last comments?
I think I agree with Jake there. I really do like the roster of Team 2.
Yeah,
outside of that,
they do.
It's interesting. I think
theirs is. Sorry, Tyler, my bad. But they are doing the opposite of what everyone else is doing right now. They just knocked all their running backs out super early, and then shotgun approach the wide receivers late between Ridley and JSN, which is a very interesting strategy because if Godwin, Deontay Johnson, or JSN become a reliable wide receiver 3 on your team, and then you have Henry, Jacobs, and Walker as your running back core. Like that's a pretty loaded freaking team. Now the quarterback's going to be weak. We'll see what happens at tight end with Ingram, but I mean, wide receiver and running back, he is stacked for sure.
I think with this draft, though, I'd still be comfortable with Dak being my starting quarterback. I don't mind it with the team around him.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Now, what are your guys' thoughts on the 9-10?
Well, let's find out in our next mock draft. No, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up, and we'll just hop into the next one real quick. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Peace out, everybody.